Accomplishing a distance running first for Kenya, a nation known for distance running, is no easy feat. So Jemima Sumgong's accomplishment Sunday at the Rio Olympics was indeed an accomplishment. Sumgong beat 156 competitors along a picturesque course on the sweltering streets of Rio, surging in the final 2 kilometers to claim Kenya's first gold in the Olympic women's marathon. It was an accomplishment that was nearly derailed, and not by the competition. Less than a mile from the finish line, a man with a sign jumped over the railings ahead of Sumgong and dashed onto the course. Police officers immediately cut off the protester, who leapt over the fence and ran away. "I was scared," Sumgong said initially. "I thinking he could grab one of my colleagues." But she ran on undeterred. Sumgong finished in 2 hours, 24 minutes, 4 seconds. Kenya-born Eunice Kirwa of Bahrain was second, 2:24 and 13 seconds, and world champion Mairdry Baba of Ethiopia, 2:24 and 30 seconds, was third. Shalane Flanagan, 2:25.26, who hung on with the lead pack for about 40 kilometers, finished sixth to lead all 3 Americans in the top 10. Day Linden, 2:26 and 8 seconds, was seventh, and Amy Cragg, 2:28 and 25 seconds, was ninth. Conditions, as expected, played a role. The temperatures at the start, 9:30 a.m. in Rio, were in the high 60s. But the bright, clear day heated up as the race wore on, and temperatures hit 80. Sumgong ran along a route featuring minimal shade with fans lining the streets. The course began and ended at Rio's famous Sambo drama, the parade area built for Carnival. Arla Tidal, 56, who has run 15 marathons, came early to the Flamingo Beach to watch, wearing electric green leggings and blue and yellow sneakers to support Brazil's athletes. Like many spectators, she was concerned about the heat. "If God could collaborate a little bit, it would be cooler," she said. She was accompanied by several fellow runners who have known each other since the 1980s, when their generation of cariocas, as locals in Rio are called, began running road races together. "This is my life," she said. "It's an excellent route. Our city is marvelous," she said of the beachside section of the route. Luis Eduardo Roca, 51, has run 4 marathons. "It's spectacular. It's a privilege for spectators and the whole sports community here," Roca said. The route is one he and his fellow local runners have done many times. "We have our history in this place," he said. "And now, during the Olympics, we are watching in the grandstands," he said, referring to the side of the road where fans gathered. "Even though it's a tough political and economic moment, you have this at least." "It's a small light," he said. Even as some observers have criticized Brazilians for what they say is too heavy a focus on medals, the opposite was on display Sunday. Crowds cheered ecstatically, trying to do so in a given country's language, for athletes at the front and the back of the pack. As a runner at the end of the pack passed by, Roca said with evident admiration, "All she needs to do is finish." It wasn't all smooth sailing. Protesters also made their way through the lanes with Temer. Banners, a reference to interim President Michel Temer, in Brazil's top offices. His one-time ally, now suspended President Dilma Rousseff, faces an impeachment trial, who is called a coup plotter by detractors. "He calls himself president, but we didn't elect him. The games is hiding what is going on," said Lucia Alvarez, 52, one such protester. Had that protester derailed Sumgong, it would not have been the first time that had happened. In 2004 in Athens, Vandalay Cordero de Lima, who lit the cauldron in Rio, was leading the Olympic marathon with 4 miles to go when he was accosted by a defrocked priest from Ireland. The disruption cost the Brazilian athlete enough time that 2 men passed him and he ended up with the bronze medal. Sumgong escaped interference, and the race, Sumgong said, was never in doubt. "I was never worried that I'd lose this," Sumgong said. "At 40 kilometers, I knew the gold was mine. At 35 kilometers, I noticed that my other 2 teammates had dropped off, and that gave me the motivation to carry on. At 40 kilometers, I saw there were 3 of us, but I knew whatever happened, I couldn't lose the gold, and then I knew I was on the way to history," she said.